probably go outside just to get a good look from afar.
You know, when you're building the car and you've got it in the shop, you know, you're up close to it. You don't really get to get away from it and see the proportions. That's why when we've got it in the shop and we're working on it, every once in a while we'll bring it out, step back and take a look at it. This is the first time we've brought this car out since we cut the top off and we're able to get away from it. To me, the windshield looks really tall. I'd like to bring that down about 1.5 inches, so that's one of the changes that I'll do some sketches and start working on that. Also, we've got the Thunderbird rear seat in it, and I can see that. I've taken some pictures. Now I can do the sketches of what the door panels and the rest of the interior will look like before we start wrapping all that and putting it in place. I do like the smaller steering wheel in here. This is a little smaller than what I'd like, but the original is much bigger. I think I'll find a happy medium right between the two. I'll get that drawn up. I can use this adapter because the original wheel was a Ford column. We've got a GM column and spline on it, so I can use that, put it inside the other steering wheel, make it a little larger because this diameter is much larger than the stock one. So take care of those few little issues before we get this ready for paint. That's looking good.
It's just the 56 Continental, and today's the first day we brought it out of the shop since we started tearing it down. Chip just likes to get it out at a certain stage throughout the build and kind of step back, get some perspective on a few of the changes we made and see if we want to make any more tweaks to it.
It's a little wider in the back, but it's taller than it is. Angle. Do we have any sandbags yet?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what we can put in the back to try and drop it down.
Oh yeah. Favorite features for me would be that front end. The headlights, the bumper. We've kind of changed the fender line up front. And personally, I wasn't sure from inside. I could tell a major difference. But once you get outside and it's on the ground, it's pretty clear that it's a awesome looking setup, man.
Yeah, it's like in the shop, you know, whenever we do something too, we try to step back and, you know, see what it's going to look like. But another thing too, we had the car up on stands, you know, so it's 2 feet off the ground, so it's hard to get the right perspective of how the car is going to sit. And so that's just why we bring it outside, get it on the ground at close to right height of what we want. Another thing we did too, throw some weight in the trunk to bring the back down and lower the ride height a bit. And yeah, it just helps you get perspective, really, is the goal of bringing it outside. Well, one thing in particular with this car is since we cut the roof off of it, we took like a lot of the triangulation and like structural integrity out of the car. So we added some tubes to the frame rails. And so we were hopping in the car and like jumping up and down to see if the car has any flex, which we have a little bit. So we're kind of assessing on where we can add some more structural strength and everything to the frame rails or the body and make sure that thing doesn't freaking flex out on us too much. Same thing, like I said, just to kind of get new perspective of what everything looks like. And we wanted to do that for outside looking in, if we could bring the windshield down, just to confirm, you know, when you're sitting inside, you don't want the top of the windshield right in your line of sight. You know, might look good from the outside, but we need to drive this thing too. So just checking both ends, you know, see if it looks right. Overall, I think he's happy. It's won't necessarily tell you he's not happy with it though until later, and all of a sudden he draws some stuff up that's different. You're like, maybe, but no, outside they said looking at the car, he was pretty happy with it. What's next? Like I said, we kind of already verified a lot of the things we've already done to the car, but we have a few things left that are kind of like at an 85–90%, and so we'll finish those out to 100, like I said, with the bumpers. Probably do that windshield, bring it down a bit, and then Chip's got some sketches going for the interior, so we'll start working on some sheet metal stuff for the interior and get that all dialed in. So those are pretty much the next steps.
How you doing, Eddie? Good. You got? Oh, really? Did you ever find out if we could get the Continental glass? Okay. All right. Oh, cool. All right. Well, we got the Continental outside. I wanna chop this thing. I wanna ask you if we can cut the glass. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. Well, the Continental glass, what I'm thinking is I want to try and see if we can cut it down a little bit, and then we'll move the metal based on what you do. But I don't know if this is a rubber in window or if this is a glue in window.
Well, a big thing is like the windshield frame. Kind of looking at that, probably gonna bring it down about 1.5 inches. We just kind of verified some of the changes on the body line. We like them. Bumpers look good. We have a couple little gaps we want to fix on the bumpers, but everything else pretty good, how we hoped it would look.
Because as it goes down, it's got to go forward. Unless we cut it and rocked it back and cut a little bit off of that. A little bit off of there, roll it back. That might work. Yeah, I was just trying to get a hold of Eddie. And what I'm hoping we can talk him into is a removable soft top. Just make a frame, and then we just wrap it in canvas up here, so it's got some shape. Could be really cool.
Yeah, it looks good. You know, we had it in the shop on the jack stands, and so you see everything close up, and we think everything looks pretty good, but brought it outside. So far, we like what we see. The only thing that Chip did notice is that windshield height on there. Wants to bring it down just a little bit. Yeah, as far as some of the other mods that you guys have covered, we like it. Fender wells, the front end with the headlights and the bumpers all tucked up look pretty good.